Hey everybody, Steve here. Welcome to week 7. Really glad that we can jump into another week. And wow, what a crazy week 6, right? Holding everything that goes on with just schoolwork, but then obviously we've had an election and results and all that comes with that. So as you're holding that, both personally, but then also as the people you're caring for, I just want you to know I've been praying for you and I trust that you all are doing well. Hey, just a couple of highlights as we come into this next week. First of all, you are turning in your DLAs on Sunday night and midnight, and we'll look forward to reading those. I've already had conversations with some of you where you just felt like that really just sort of unlocked some things for you. So I'm super excited to read what you found out and the questions that you asked. Obviously, these papers are a little bit longer, and we've got a full week. So if you can just give me a week to get those back to you, I certainly will. And just give me a little grace there with doing that work. This week, we're going to continue reading in Harris's book. I hope that you found his writing interesting. He does push on some topics, and I find that really gets us thinking a little bit more about, well, what do we mean by emerging adulthood and the way that the world actually treats young people today. As we look at a couple of things this week, I'm going to really point back to something that Christian Smith talks about, and it's the sociological imagination. How do we think about the challenges in the world, and what do we actually do about that? Because there's some really big challenges in the world. They aren't going to be solved by a new program. But still, we have to be thinking about sort of layers of sociology and layers of influence that are impacting young people, and then what we can do about that. And really in this week 7, and you'll see some of the writing that I've left for you and from me and some other things, we're starting to turn the corner a little bit and really begin to use our own imaginations. Well, what would we do in our context with our emerging adults? So I want you to take some time to think about that. And then finally, it's really fun, but I did a podcast with an organization called Love Thy Neighborhood. They do internships for emerging adults regarding social justice all over the place. They're pretty cool. And they have a podcast. And so I did a podcast on emerging adulthood. And the way that they pulled this together is actually quite masterful. And I think you'll find it really, really great to listen to. So I really want to encourage you to do that. The things that I say, you're going to be like, well, Steve says that all the time. So that's because you're growing and you're becoming experts. But I love the stories and examples that they give in this podcast. So I've posted that for you. It just came out this last week. I'd love to hear your reactions on that as well. Keep up the good work in the midst of all that you're doing and processing. I hope that you know that this is part of our journey. We can't separate the world that we live in with the work that we're trying to do internally. But I hope that you find some harmony with that and some hope in that, and that you also are gentle with yourself. Sarah and I are here for you if there's any way that we can help you. And may you know this week God's grace and peace.